what's happening? Another vlog, another week. So, feeling a little bit doom and gloom, to be honest, about the whole UTA situation. So, need to get out and about and hopefully jump on the bike and see how that feels. But otherwise, there's still no running. What have we got? 7 weeks left, I think, until the UTA, 6 or 7. So, there's a question mark around the UTA at the moment. But what I can do is I can jump on the bike and continue training until hopefully the leg eases up. Alright, so as you can see here, I'm getting into the garden. I'm frustrated at my ankle, swelling's gone down, walking's fine, well pretty much fine, biking's 100% fine. Anyway, we're still flooded in, can't get out to get it scanned, and I'm getting super duper frustrated that I can't run. So I need to fill my time with something else. So I'm gonna hook into this backyard of mine and try and see what I can make of it. I've been wanting to do this since I got here, but I always put something else first, my training. That's usually the case. So I'm gonna try my best to actually get this done. It's Friday afternoon, and again, I've had a tantrum today because I can't exercise and I can't run the way that I want to. So rather than becoming a fat, lazy slob and sitting on the couch, which is probably something that I would rather do, I am going to get out in the garden and try and get some sun on the skin. Let's see how many yuccas I can pull out. Our house is like, I don't know who was living here beforehand, but they were obsessed with yuccas. I think that's what you call them, these things anyway, that you can see on the screen now. Like our whole house is just full of them. So in the backyard, I'm gonna get rid of all of them. Okay, so I was just walking through Nicole what my idea is. What do you reckon of my idea? So I'm gonna get all this rock out and we're gonna put it in that section over there where I've cleaned up. Yeah. That way the rocks are away from the kids. And then we can clean all the weeds. And then now with these yuccas, we can cut them down and then we've got to drill into the actual root system themselves and then weed it up.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's illegal placement, that's fine.
Is it?
Let's tell them all.
Ah, no one else will find out. Anyway, so you okay, buddy? Did you have any refusals of all that?
No, it's done now.
Well, it's not done yet.
Well, 90% of it is done.
Yeah, we have cut down quite a fair bit. So, as you can see, we've got yuccas all the way down here. This is where we put our bins down there, which you'll see me cleaning up. I'm sure Nicole's not going to be too happy. This is the inside broom. Our outside broom's broken. Love you, babe. I'm going to put all the rocks from the, what do you call it? The garden bed. Look at me getting so fancy. And then we'll come back around here. And we've got more garden beds over here, which I'm going to clean up and get rid of all the crap. there is this vine. It's like a lantana. I believe it's not lantana, is it? It's called Morning Glory. Okay, so good morning, and we're gonna get rid of the Morning Glory. I think we're gonna have to weed this as well, but you can see over our fence here, it's like completely weeded in over everything. So, it's even, I think they're lemons or limes that we have here. It's like all intertwined. So, lots to do. Got an ankle to do it. Let's get to work. As you can see, I have gotten all the rocks out. So the amount of rocks that we had, you can see down in our pile, but it kind of looks just like that. So kids are asleep at the moment, so we are in intermission currently. Otherwise, so this garden bed is done. I'm gonna have to drill holes into these yuccas and put some poison in there to get them out. The roots are just way too deep. Now my next afternoon is going to be somewhere around this section here. So that's a fire pit that we use, so I need to clean that out. That's another yucca there, and there's a whole bunch of rocks that we have moved prior to this little kind of attempt. Otherwise you can just see all this vine. So let's have a look at it and see if we can get rid of it. If I have time this afternoon after my calls, I've got about another hour before I have to jump into calls. So see what I can get done. That there, more rocks, if you can see the rocks under the weeds, and more yuccas that I need to kind of get them cleaned out so that they can be weeded up, so they can be rounded up, and then let's see what that brings. Now, most of you would know I like country music, and we've got these new Google devices. What are they called? Google Minis?
Yeah.
And anyway, we're playing my country music, and Nicole joins in for 5 minutes to help, and you put your, what do you call it? R&B?
R&B Fridays.
Oh, do you know where we live? We live in Losodia. So we're done for today anyway. So as you can see, we've managed to get all this relatively cleaned up. There was all rocks and wood that I had to chop up as well. Otherwise, there has been a ton of rocks. It's probably not a ton, but it feels like that. So that's all in the 2 garden beds that we've removed all the rocks from. So to be honest, I am quite physically pretty tired after that, actually. Been a massive day. Anyway, it's just after lunch. It's what, 1:30, 1:45, and now I've got a few hours of work. So I'm now just looking into some work as well. So I've got a few hours of calls with some clients this afternoon. But one thing that Nicole and I were talking about while we're doing the yard, because we talk about this sort of stuff all the time, right? Health and fitness and all those sorts of things. You know, we have people who inquire and people who ask that we would like to improve our health, we would like to improve our daily energy. And that's something that pops up quite frequently. While in amongst weight loss goals, endurance goals, or training goals, you know, these are some very similar goals that a lot of people have, is that they want to improve daily energy and they want to feel healthy. You know, and feeling healthy is a very interesting kind of topic to bring up, because obviously everyone has a different meaning as to what healthy actually is to them. Okay, but if we're talking about daily energy throughout the day, or, you know, improving one's internal physical health,
okay, is that you're obviously doing something right now that is causing you to feel unhealthy. So when you start improving, when you start making changes, you have to continue those changes. You can't actually just slowly creep back in your old bad habits and expect it to the same, right? So if you're gonna work with someone, or if you're gonna pay someone to improve, like help you improve your fitness or health, you can't go back to doing what you were doing beforehand, because that was the reason as to why you were feeling unhealthy in the first place. So you can't just, unfortunately, you can't just pay someone to make you feel healthier. There are actions and behaviors that you must obtain and take that allow you to feel the things that we're talking about. Feeling energized, feeling healthy, feeling good about yourself, feeling on top of the world when you do your training, feeling like you're not just inhibited by hunger all the time and you feel like you're in control of your diet, all those sorts of things. Doesn't just happen. You can't just pay someone and that will just happen. You have to behave and act the right way. Interesting thought. Anyway, that was what we're talking about. Okay, good morning. Another day, Sunday morning. Time to get back into the garden again. So as we said yesterday, we've done that. We've done 2 garden beds at the moment. We're on fire. This is the longest that I've worked on something like this for a long time, if not ever. I used to do quite a fair bit of this sort of stuff with my parents growing up. So as you can see, yuccas are yuck. There's just so much rubbish to deal with when you have these plants in your house. So, but yeah, I did actually grow up doing this sort of stuff quite a fair bit. My parents are massive advocates of moving the body like this. I know I know that Nicole's parents are exactly the same as well. Might not be necessarily going to the gym and doing all these exercises and things, but you can be really active and move the body in both aerobically and resistance wise just by moving a whole bunch of things around your garden. So awesome, feels good. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just about done getting all the rocks out of this garden bed now as well. 3rd day. I think my upper body is feeling it a little bit. My legs are like, hey, good to go, good to go, good to go. My upper body's like, what are you doing to me? I have, as you can see, I'm wearing gloves. 2 different types of gloves, but I have, thanks to running, I have the wussiest hands. I really do. It's quite embarrassing. But anyway, this is why I'm using the gloves. So I've got to put the rocks around the corner again, and then I've got to get to work. So Sunday is a big day of programming for our clients. So I usually spend about 3 or 4 hours at least programming. Some programs are already done, but there are a lot of programs that I get done on Sunday. Is the way that I like to do things is collaborate with my clients. I like to know how things are going pretty frequently, depending on the client. Some clients are in different stages within their own journey, so some need more attention than others. Some, I've been working with for years on end that don't need the same sort of attention to detail because they know how it works, they know what to do, they know what to look out for, all those sorts of things. But yeah, Sunday is usually the day where I'll go over everyone's program, make sure that everyone's good to go, and then start booking in their coaching calls for the week. But if you're out there training and you've got these specific goals, sometimes it's always good to have a draft for your training plan, but just remember that you need to be able to review and reflect on that training plan, right? So having a coach is obviously a great way to do that, but even if you're just on your own, a great way to do that is just to allow or allocate time every single week to sit back and review yourself, right? How's your training going? Does it need to be adjustments? We can all get attached to our training plan, like thinking that the training plan is going to be the most perfect thing when you design it, right? But even someone as experienced as I am in programming for people trying to get performance enhancements, that it comes down to the individual understanding when is it a good time to train. Your when is really important when it comes to adaptation. So when are you going to train is not something that you can always predict, right? So this is why I always call it a draft. And then the client has to understand, is it a good time for them to train or not?
funny, I think there might be a few similarities with gardening and endurance training. Usually when I do something with the garden, it's always like I go through this weird mode where I'm like, oh, I'm going to do something, and then maybe 2 hours later I like get over it because I realize how long it's actually going to take for me to do what I was looking to do. But I guess that correlates nicely with training, right? Like, is kind of like your endurance training. Is some things that you just don't always want to do that you probably should be doing to have the best performance. And I think gardening is kind of like that. Like these rocks, I'm so sick of moving these rocks, but if I want to be able to get the garden beds the way that I want to, I've got to start with a blank canvas. I've got to start with something fresh. So I've got to get the rocks out, which have got all the weeds and the dirt in amongst all these rocks. I've got to remove it. I've got to start from the basics and get back to scratch so the garden beds are, you know, fresh and ready to go so we can build on top of that. And look, I guess that's like just like endurance training. You know, if you're feeling broken at the moment, if you're feeling like you're just not getting rhythmic adaptations that you're after, maybe sometimes you have to kind of go back and lay the groundwork, right? Go backwards before you can go forwards. You know, clean up your body and get things feeling good again before you can actually start moving forward. I don't know, it just seems to be popping up into my head because this is my 3rd day now gardening. This is probably the longest time that I've actually spent in the garden like this. And it's just like endurance training. If I don't get the foundations done first, well then I can't have fun with a nice garden and make it look good. I've got to lay the foundations first. Kind of seems like training if you ask me. If you're someone who is not really into endurance training, but you're into health, or you have a job that is really active like this, please don't go to the gym. This is plenty. You don't need to be doing any more than this, I can tell you that. How'd you go? How far did you go?
5Ks.
You push it?
Yep, like I said, the boss said I can, so I can. Or so I did.
So did you get under 45 minutes for 5K?
Under 45?
Yeah, that's about your pace, isn't it? The Garden of Ankle.
That's a good one.
We got one, well, there's actually 1,000 yuccas left out the front.
Or 1,000 half yuccas.
Yeah. But we've got one over there left to go. Should we hack that before we finish up, or we're going to close it off here?
No, let's close it off here.
Lawns are done, everything's done. How are you feeling about this?
It looks good now that it's done. I was very nervous.
Well,
it looks good now.
Blank canvas is what I've been going on about. We're just starting fresh, right?
Yeah.
We've got to get rid of the crap before we can make something better of it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway guys, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let us know. Bye. That can't be the end, right? I can't leave one of them here. Do the whole backyard and leave one. Just, I can't do it. That's the way we do it. Done.